Hey, Cleaning Nation, Mike Campion here with Suzanne Bandic. I am really excited about today's topic for two reasons. One, we're going to talk about what rich people believe versus what poor people believe, or if I can be a little more specific, what people that are generally and overwhelmingly successful in business believe versus what people who really, really struggle in business believe. And I've got four kind of rich guy versus poor guy or gal beliefs. And I think Suzanne has six, and we've not shared them. So since I've got fewer, I'll go first, and then she can share hers. And obviously she'll have at least two that I haven't used, but I'm guessing of my four, at least two, I'm guessing three will be on her list. So we'll see. It'll be fun to see if we line up, even though we've not coordinated in the least. All right. So the very first, and these are not in particular order, just having been in business for 30 years and coached for a decade, I just see people that win do this and people that don't win do the opposite. So the first one is ownership versus blame. So when something goes bad, poor people, one of the things I don't love about politicians on both sides of the aisle, it's always, you're not poor because of you, you're poor because of this external factor, and I'm here to fix it, right? That's a poor people thinking, right? And it's typically, I'll take money from that guy and give it to you. Wealthy people go, oh, I'm broke because I made myself broke, and I'm no offense to, this is why we'll get a little political. There was a politician that said, you didn't build that, someone else built it. Rich people and wealthy people do not like hearing that, like, because no one else built it, I did. And of course, obviously we live in a society without police and roads, and obviously we all need basic things. But at the end of the day, people that are successful own it, right? And when they go, well, actually, believe it or not, they always own the problem, right? Rich people are like, it's on me. It's on me. Your employee screws up. That's on you. Something happens. It's on me. I got it. My bad. My bad. And typically when things go well, they actually do share credit with the people that actually are on their team, not with strangers or politicians. But when I win, I know all the way down to my bones is if I did anything is I hired really smart people and put them in a position that they could succeed and be happy. So ownership versus blame. Wealthy people own the circumstance, and they own their circumstance and the guy next to them circumstance and the other guy's circumstance. And if that employee sucks, it's, well, I hired him, I trained him, I didn't fire him, that's on me. We own everything. And poor people tend to own nothing. Not my fault. Not that it's me, it's the government, it's that guy, it's my neighbor, it's my parents, it's his parents, it's your parents, it's anyone but me. I'm too tall, I'm too old, too short, too woman, too man. Fill in your blank. It's always something other than them. So that's number one. Number two, figure it out versus complain. Drives me nuts when we have some of our clients like, well, this thing went wrong. I'm like, oh God, I'm so sorry. Let's figure out how to go next. I'm like, well, but this is really bad. And you're like, got it. So what are we going to do next? Like, well, I'd like to hammer on this of how bad this is and why my life's never going to recover. And I'm like, well, we could do that. It's just not going to get you where you want to go. So why don't we talk about where you want to be and how to fix it? No. I really want to talk about the problem, like forever and ever and ever. I don't even know why they do it. It's got to be miserable. I couldn't imagine like just living in that helpless, everything sucks, and that's all I want to talk about. And the crazy thing is, this is why rich people have rich friends and poor people have poor friends, because rich friends will smack you in the head and go, quit whining. You want to get something different? Let's do something different. Poor people go, oh, I know. Oh, Suzanne, that's the worst. It really is. I guess we're all going to just be broke forever, won't we? Like Suzanne, just I can see her wanting to vomit just at the even the fake talk. She's like, I can't take it. So number one, ownership versus blame. Successful people own it. Unsuccessful people blame. Successful people figure it out. Go ahead, Suzanne.
Let me add something in there.
Please.
And because, by the way, Mike, I had two of those. Two out of two, I had them. One of the things I feel the need to point out is when we take the responsibility, when we become solution oriented, we take our power back. There's a difference there, right? The wealthy mindset is I have the ability to change things, to do things. And the poor mindset is very much, it's out of my control. So I'm all about take your power back.
Perfect example of this is the lottery. You guys have all heard. You can take a poor person who has blame beliefs, complain beliefs. I'll give you we'll talk about some more. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to be broke again in depending on how much they won, 5 years, 10 years, 20, they will find a way that money is going to go to wealthy people. It just will. The reverse is also true because they're blaming and they just can't own anything. I was rich because I won the lottery, and then when I lose all my money, I was poor because that these 71 people scammed me or whatever the case may be. Funny when 71 people scam one human. It's like, is it the human or is it the 71 people? I dated 27 girls and they all said I'm a pain in the neck. I think the 27 girls are the problem. It's like, okay, okie dokie, you have every right to that opinion. Let me know how it works out for you, and God forbid your future wife or next girlfriend slash victim. And then rich people, same thing. They lose their money. I forget the stats, but they go bankrupt at a much higher rate than other people, and they obviously get right back at it at a much higher rate than other people. And I think it's off the air, but they had a show called Undercover Billionaire. They took billionaires, took their name, their credit, everything. They gave them $100 in a beat up pickup truck, and they had to make like $1 million in 3 months or something, or a month. It was an unreasonable thing, and I think they all did it right because they had and it wasn't. And they're just like, well, but nope, no credit. They had to use a different name, no money, all the things that you could go. These beliefs, they had the belief that it was literally like, I built it before, I can build it again. It was just a belief.
You cannot take the mindset away from people.
Well, you can, but it's pretty physically brutal. Like it's we won't get into the. If you do that, that's we don't want to talk about that. There's terrible ways to hurt the human body, but we're assuming that's not going to happen to 99.999% of us. Okay, next thing, and this is kind of a subset of figure it out versus complain. How can it be done versus it can't be done, or it's going to suck, right? Drives me nuts the number of owners of cleaning companies are like, there's no one wants to work in my area. I'm like, you been to McDonald's lately? Like, why? How many employees they got back there? That's right now. They're open, 30 hours, they get 150 employees doing worse work for less money. So again, is it true that it can't be done? No, just that you haven't done it. So how can it be done successful? It can't be done, or it's going to suck unsuccessful. Last one, not exclusively, but overwhelmingly, what's best for the other guy versus what's best for me. I found unsuccessful people are unable to put themselves in other people's shoes. It's always self-centered no matter what. Successful people, even if they disagree, even if they're still selfish, they still have the ability to put themselves in the other person's shoes and see out of their eyes. Even if they aren't particularly selfless, which I found the more money you make, the more value you've typically given. And to give value, you have to you have to think about what the other person wants. So at the best case, looking for the other person to win, and you win as a result. Best case. Minimum standard, just the ability to understand what the other person wants, even if you're like, I don't want to give it to them, which is still going to hold you back. Okay, those are the 4 beliefs I found. Suzanne, I'd love to know how many matched, and feel free to add any of your perspective to things that we did match on. And of course, I'm excited to hear the ones that didn't match or that you had above and beyond me.
I have a few more. Definitely 2 of yours.
Yeah, I knew there'd be 2, but
Definitely 2 of yours. I have a few more. One specific one comes way back when I did some training with T. Harv Eker. And he said, rich people play the money game to win, and poor people play the game not to lose.
Interesting.
So I think that's something that we could all have a little more look at in our life. Am I focused on winning, or am I focused on, because you're going to get what you're focused on. Am I focused on not losing?
That's so true. When we talk to clients, especially if they're considering coming into coaching, and we only invite people we're really confident that we can help. And most of the time they're confident we can help, but they look at the fear and they're like, well, if I have to invest time or money or do something different, I might lose. They're so focused on what they might lose and the perceived pain, they just forget about the actual pain that they're living right now. And it's like, golly, I think that one of the best bets in the world is to risk future pain for a chance to give up concrete pain today. But again, that's really just a manifestation of I'm holding on to what I got, whether it's time or money. This little thing I got, I can't give it up, or whatever. And then you can't, closed hand. It's harder for someone to take something out. It's impossible for someone to put something in.
Right. Well, it goes back to, if we want to delve into that a little bit further, it goes back to the monkey thoughts in our mind. I always train everybody, all these thoughts that come up that don't serve you, picture them like a little monkey, because then you can talk to it, right? And the little monkey is really just trying to keep us safe.
Mm-hmm.
So we know, even if we don't like where we're at, we know where we're at. We're used to that. It's familiar. And monkeys, we don't know what's on the other side of taking a leap. right? Taking a leap to make something different. We don't know what's over there. That can be very scary. So it's really important at that time to just acknowledge the thought. Thank you, monkey, for sharing that. I know you're trying to protect me. However, build up what could be good on the other side versus what we could fear and loss, right?
Maybe I'm
Wealth and
being,
abundance versus fear and loss.
I typically will, I love the thank you, monkey. I know you're trying to save me. I always, and it's probably a little sarcastic, appreciate that, but we're going to let the adults talk now. Because the monkey's,
Perfect.
yeah, because the monkey's real. Again,
Perfect.
he's like, he knows there's risk over there, and I know there's risk over there, and he's screaming about the risk. I'm like, thank you. I needed to know about the risk. I don't want to miss it. We don't make decisions based on the monkey screaming. We just say thank you, needed that feedback, and now the adults are going to talk, and we're going to make a decision.
As long as we acknowledge it.
Yeah, you got to hear
If
it. Like
if we don't, it controls us.
yeah. I think that's the worst part is just that I'm not going to go forward to do anything different. I don't even know why. Just this unnamed fear, which is
I'm uncomfortable. Name anything good that we ever got that wasn't a little bit uncomfortable at first.
I'm sharing one last story I heard from someone else. It's such a good pin on it, and then I'm going to let you ride this out, Suzanne. Russell Brunson, founder of ClickFunnels, or one of the owners or founders of ClickFunnels, talked about when he was in college, he was wrestling and he didn't really enjoy his studies or do much. But there's one class that had this apparently little Indian teacher that was really excitable at the front, and he gave them a homework or an assignment to build the company. And Russell Brunson built this little online funnel kind of thing, whatever. And it was making like $3,000 or $4,000 a month in college. So, it's kind of a cool thing. And he was really excited because he's like, I don't really care about college. It's not, I'm here to wrestle. And this is all, but this is the one thing that got assigned that he was interested in, and each person presented their thing. So he was presenting his thing, and the teacher was like beside him, like jumping up and down, like he was really excited. So like Russell's excited, the teacher's excited in front of the class, and he said, "There's this one guy." He's like, "Any questions?" And he thought people were going to be like lighting him up, right? I'm in college, like 3-4 grand a month. I could pay out my tuition. I would be in, like, there's a lot going on here. Nothing. And again, it wasn't that the teacher was like kind of downplaying. The teacher was like, "Let's go!" Like, this is exactly what I was hoping we could do. And there was no one guy slouched in his chair, like kind of head down, just barely like put up his arm, like super. And Russell, yeah, what's the question? He goes, sounds like a lot of work. Just sounds like a lot of work. And the point of all that is Russell was, and I feel the exact same way. He's like, I didn't even understand it because I looked at that guy going through all this college to maybe get a $47,000 a year job, sitting for 40 hours in a cubicle for the next 20 or 30 years. He goes, that sounded like an undoable amount of work. And this is something he'd done in a semester, a portion of a semester. So I'm sure it was quite a bit of work, but he's also wrestling and going to school. So it wasn't like he was doing this 24/7. And it's just crazy. So the risk profile, Russell was looking at it as like, what you're doing, sitting there slouching, going to class with no plan to get a $50,000 job, sitting in a cubicle, sounds like an untenable amount of work. This guy saw it the opposite. So again, rich people versus, it's just the way that you said what you said. I'm like, this story would perfectly tie a bow. Had to share it. Mike Campion here. Do you ever listen to the podcast and go, this is great information. I just wish I could actually get it implemented. And I wish I could get some help. Well, we do that. If you would like either myself or my team's help actually coming up with a plan that's specialized to you and your business, because with these podcasts, obviously we have to be very general and we can only go 20 minutes at a time. If you'd like to jump on a call with myself or my team, go to growmycleaningcompany.com/talk. We'll jump on a call. There's no charge. And we'll help you get some absolute clarity around exactly what to do next and how to do it. The reason we don't charge for these calls is the plan that we come up with, people want help implementing that. If that's the case, we're happy to talk about it. And if it's not, that's okay too. We're happy to just help you come up with a plan. So if you want to translate the information you're learning here into an actual plan that can change your life, give us a ring, growmycleaningcompany.com/talk. Love to either myself or have one of our coaches walk you through and actually personalize the content you get here to where you're at with your business. Talk soon.
Thank you. Next one that I had was rich people are committed to being rich and poor people want to be rich.
God, so good.
Okay. And the committed to being rich is to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes with no excuses.
God, you're so on point, Suzanne. I have found most of the things that have been of value in my life took longer, cost more, financially, emotionally, not just, dollars, way longer than I thought, cost way more, just harder. And sometimes if I knew what they would have cost, I wouldn't have started. So it's probably good I didn't know because I wouldn't have started. But I've also found, for me, can't speak for others, the satisfaction I've gotten from that was much more than I thought it would be, and way more worth it. And again, you just get to the point where like, I couldn't live any other way. I couldn't have it where like, if I couldn't own a business, how to get a job, I wouldn't even know what to do. Like fill out an application and ask some guy, and can I please make this money? And can I please go on vacation? Or I wouldn't even, not judging it. There's nothing wrong with that. Just once you've kind of had this, I don't know, I wouldn't know how to go back to that. So I just here is all I can say that, Suzanne, that is so in line with my experience.
And another one that I wanted to share is focusing on the rewards versus the risk.
Tell me more, or tell us more.
Well, again, it kind of goes back to, am I going to move forward? You're more likely to move forward with a decision to get you somewhere that you want to go if you focus on the gains. What are the rewards of where I will be going versus what are the risks and how scary it is? Let's face it, it's a future we do not know. It's a future that we can picture fear and loss, or it's a future we can picture wealth and abundance. Which are we most likely to get if we take this journey, if we're focused on two different things?
I think that's kind of the corollary to my how can it be done versus it can't be done. Like that's really how can it be done? That question focuses on like, what do I need to do? Let's move forward. And it can't be done focuses on the negatives. So I love that kind of legs to that thought. Like, here's how you do. Well, how do I do that? You change your focus. You change on what you want and how to get there, not on the cost and why it won't be worth it.
It will definitely help us move in the direction we want to go if we focus on the reward.
And honestly, this isn't part of like the beliefs. It's just an observation and how I am. I'd love to hear your opinion, Suzanne. I don't know if I'd categorize all wealthy people like this, but my bent is just, I'd rather go down swinging, right? Like if I'm failing now, I'm not getting the result that I want. I couldn't imagine just, we'll keep doing it and then just write it out until death. I'm like, I can't, I won't. I'd rather swing and miss, swing and miss, swing. And I'd rather be swinging and missing than just sitting in the dugout and not even giving it a shot. Like, is that, again, I don't know if that's all successful people, but is that more you're like, if I'm going to go down, let's go down swinging, not just slowly and quietly into death.
Oh, absolutely. And it's part of taking your power back, right?
Yeah, at least then try
are
something.
you going to let somebody else or some circumstance beat you? Heck no.
And even if
Sorry,
you miss, you learn
this is
something.
my mentality.
Yeah,
Folks, you're
all right.
seeing Mike and I in our mentality.
We haven't talked about that, but yeah, just because again, worst case, you learn something. You go, that's another, the whole, Thomas Edison after many, many failures, like, are you ready to give up? No, I found like 9,000 ways not to make a light bulb. That's like that's 90% of the work.
Everybody will tell you, you see the end goal. You see the people who are successful and they failed their way to success. They didn't get there just by some lucky break and they got lucky the first time and it was ring, 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 a winner. It's always a trial and error. It's always course correction. And please, I'm going to encourage everybody to find the joy in the journey.
It really just depends on what part of I've always said, like if you followed Suzanne and I around for a week and recorded 24/7 and you get to pick out the 3 minutes, you could make us look like monsters or heroes, right? And not just Suzanne, any human. Not Suzanne, she's amazing, but most people. And I know Elon for some reason has been very politicized lately, but not talking about that. Just if you look at his business acumen, you have to like him or hate him. He's obviously very successful. One of my favorite Elon stories is when he did SpaceX, when he first started, he put all the money he made from PayPal, which was hundreds of millions of dollars, into it. And he said, I had a 90% chance of, I estimated, not what the world told me, what I said was 90% chance of failure. And I think because I think they had 3 or 4 explosions and not a single one. He's like, this was the one that worked, the first one that didn't explode. He's like, that was it. That was all of our money. If that didn't work, we were just done. Like we were weeks or months away from bankruptcy. So again, this isn't about Elon or how you feel about him. It is about just a perfect example of people who you see at the end and go, oh, well, they do this. And it looks very easy. It's like, well, you weren't there, when he was probably sleeping at PayPal 24/7 for years at a time. So yeah, I've never met a successful the overnight success, only 10 years in the making is almost always how that is, or 20 years or 30 years. All right. Did you have more, Suzanne, or did we,
One more. And I just want to highlight, focus on what you do want leads to wealth and abundance versus what you don't want. You are going to get more of what you're focused on. So we're talking about a rich person's beliefs versus a poor person's beliefs. And if you start believing in what you do want, start talking about, start focusing on that, you will get there much more quickly, much more easily than if you focus on all the stuff you don't want.
and notice we didn't say you'll get there in the time that you want and with the ease that you want, just more quickly, more easily. So it's like, well, if the price is going to be more than you wanted to pay, do you want to pay 200% more or 150% more? Still get the 150. And what's the alternative? Again, doing nothing and being guaranteed everything stays the same. All right. Just to wrap, I want to encourage everybody. The reason we hit this mindset stuff and the belief stuff so hard is, again, being more of a tactical teacher. Suzanne handles more of the beliefs for our clients. I like the what to do and how to do it because they're less squishy, right? If you do X, you'll get Y. Balance sheets, always balance. P&Ls, when done properly, always balance. There's something nice about that and the math of it all. The problem is most of the people that say, just tell me what to do, just tell me what to do, and I'll do it, they won't do it. And when they don't do it, they don't go, well, it's because my beliefs are wrong. They blame they blame everything but, as opposed to just owning it and going, again, I could get on any diet program that you want to get on, or get any coach or mentor or book or whatever you want to do. And they're all going to have some version of don't eat these foods and move your body. And I can, when I choose, if obviously I'll do that and succeed, right? Or I won't do it. And I can go, well, the coach sucked, or the food sucked, or that didn't work. And then guess what? I go look for the next one. Well, that guy said only eat raisins and oatmeal. And this guy said no carbs. And that guy said only eat, these hours a day and blah. And I'm sure they all work. The most of them work to some degree. But the problem is I don't want to do any of them because they all sound like a bunch of goddamn work. So at the end of the day, guys, gals, if you own your stuff, it really is the beliefs. As much as I love the coaching, the work, and we do a lot of stuff for our clients, which obviously we'll take a little more credit for that. But the coaching is a lot of taking people that already had a lot of what was going on and just helping them unlock it and support and some accountability and some tools. But we can't take accountability for the magic. It ain't our magic. It's they did it. We just kind of help them. And the people that struggle generally struggle in all areas. And it's always a blame of the other guy. So I just want to encourage you, those who get it, adopt these beliefs and you'll get these results. Those who are like, just tell me what to do, these are a waste of time. I promise you, the internet exists, Google exists, all the vast majority of human knowledge is available at the end of your fingertips. So to say it's nothing beliefs, it's just lack of knowledge is like, is it? So again, as a guy who teaches tactical, and I'm much more on the what to do and how to do it side, 80% of our clients struggle come from, 100%, because we're very clear and articulate about what to do and how to do it. The only time they don't get results is if they don't. And that's almost always a mindset belief. So even for those of you that are like me, like, just tell me what to do and make it easy. It's like, I wish that was how it was. It'd be great. Everyone would be a billionaire, but we really have to grow us as people before we can grow our business. Anything to add to wrap, young lady?
I believe we're good.
I think there's something under that. We're running out of time, so I'm going to wrap it. All right, guys, gals, if you are in that boat of, I have been going to YouTube University for X amount of time, blah, 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 and you're not getting the results that you want, let me encourage you. Do something different. Give yourself a chance. Reach out to us, reach out to somebody else, take a swing. You get to pick the swing. But the only guarantee I can give you is to keep doing what you've been doing. You're probably going to keep doing what you've been getting. If you do something different, you'll at least get a different result. And if it's not the result you'd hope for, again, Elon's first 4 blowups of rockets weren't his ideal, but that was the cost he had to pay to get here. And if he would have stopped there and said, I'll just keep doing the same thing over and over, that would have maybe he'd have been lost to history. Maybe some of you think that's good, be that as it may. If you're not getting the results that you want, do something different. Go down swinging, get some help. we're here for you. Lots of resources out there, us and otherwise. Go get some. Talk to you soon. Hey, Cleaning Nation, if you dug the content you just got, we don't do any ads and I don't sell anything on this podcast, but if you would just subscribe, rate, and review, it would be huge and I'd be so appreciative. Not only is it going to help me, but you'll help other owners of cleaning companies across the world work less, make more, and get profitable. So if you appreciate the value we give, again, subscribe, rate, and review. It would mean the world to me. I'd really appreciate it. And we sure appreciate your time and attention.